All right, this is more of a chill, relax before we get back into the politics. But this is what it's like, fellas. I'm sure you can relate. This is, and ladies, just hear us out. This is what it's like when you're going back and forth, or trying to, or you were right about something with a woman. Let's take a look.
Came into the league, took it by storm, and drew in a level of attention that they weren't able to draw.
Yeah.
That was the reality.
One thing I want to say before we go to break, really quick, Dre, I think one of the impetuses, especially for this conversation, was obviously her not getting an Olympic roster spot, right? Remember, we had a big debate over that. Was she deserving of it? Was it more the marketing, the hype? And here's what I'll say, and I know, Andrea, that you agree. At that point, some of us felt like maybe she hadn't proved it in the WNBA, but at this point, she certainly has. So she proved everybody wrong.
What about the guards? Let's talk about the guards that didn't make it. Talk about the guards that didn't make it. How they play, Andrea? Because you were one of the ones that say she didn't earn it. How did the guards play that within the Olympics? How did they play?
For sure, but we can't take how Caitlin finished the W season and pivot that to how she would have done in the Olympics. That's a completely different argument.
So what y'all are seeing is, now that she won, and now that she's kicking, and now that she brought her team, she was the #1 pick. That means the worst team in the league got her on the team. This team hadn't been to the playoffs since 2016. They hadn't won 20 games since 2015. And everybody was hating on her. They did, in my opinion, the WNBA, which is trying to grow their brand. They've been complaining about not making any money because nobody watches their games. Nobody comes to their games. Then you have a player like Caitlin Clark come into the league who can change all of that, but you decide not to bring her to the Olympics. And then we already showed this. Actually, they had one of the lower turnouts in the Olympics at their games. Like one of the least amount of fans came to the game. Let's keep going.
Look at that point. Look at how she played up until that point. Tracy Gray had only played one game before she went to the Olympics. She was outplaying Diana Taurasi. Was she outplaying Diana Taurasi at that point in time that she was on the team? It's a simple yes or a simple no.
Was Caitlin outplaying Diana Taurasi? But you can't just factor in current.
Answer the question, sweetheart.
Current play, Shannon. That's all I'm saying. You got to
factor in.
If you're factoring in Diana Taurasi's Olympic experience, Diana Taurasi's how she was with the team.
Shannon, hold on 1 second. Shannon,
this ain't a lifetime, an Olympic lifetime achievement.
Shannon Sharpe, hold on 1 second. What we're saying is you guys were right. That's what we're saying. You
no, Molly, you did not say that, Molly.
Yo, that is what it's like. Fellas, you are never going to get the type of apology that you think that you deserve, or the type of acknowledgement, not even apology. I said the wrong word. The type of acknowledgement when it's just like, you know what? You were right. Totally understand. And we move forward. It's not a big deal. It's like, yo, you were right about that. Why would you not want to, especially like in a relationship, why would you not want to tell your man that he's right? I'm glad that you're my man. Right? That's what they should be saying. I'm glad that you're my man because you're right. Like that, I'm happy that you were right. But this is what happens in relationships. This is what happens overall. I told y'all before, women want, and this may not just, I told y'all this is more of a funny video, but the statement still applies. Women want the power of men. They want the privilege of a woman and the accountability of a child. And if you feel that, and ladies, the ladies that are listening on here, y'all are different. We get it. But I'm talking about all the other ones. All right. I'm not talking about y'all that are listening. All right. So you could let your guard down. You don't have to be so defensive. You don't have to tighten up when you're hearing these things. But this is what it's like. And if you did tighten up when you're hearing these things, then maybe you should kind of, process that, understand why you were triggered in that moment. But let's go back and listen to it.
This ain't a lifetime, but this wasn't an Olympic lifetime achievement.
Shannon Sharpe, hold on 1 second. What we're saying is you guys were right. That's what we're saying.
No, Molly, you did not say that, Molly. No,
that is what you said.
That's not what you said, Molly. That is not what you said.
I literally just brought it up.
You were talking about folks making the point that, at the time that they had picked the Olympic team, Caitlin Clark didn't necessarily deserve it based on her play on the court. When the point that Shannon and I was making at the time was that, wait a minute, In the end, there are people that have ended up on Team USA for reasons other than just their elite play at that particular moment in time.
She
was a
proved everybody
marketing whiz.
right.
And
You hear the voice?
Everyone right, because she is a marketing whiz.
No, Stephen A. I'm saying, she proved everybody right. Like now they getting their feminine energy. That's what happens, right? Yo, when I was just watching this, I had to show y'all because it goes through every stage. It's like you kind of acknowledge, like you're acknowledging, you're not acknowledging that I was right, but you're kind of like trying to introduce it as that and like do it in such a nonchalant way without just coming out and saying, yo, you were right. I was wrong about that. I was looking at that totally different. I was wrong. You were right. Then it goes to when you get called out and Stephen A saying like, nah, that's not what you said. And then he starts to address it. Then it's like, oh, well, what do you mean? Like, Stephen A, I'm just like, stop. Like, yo. listen to her voice.
Was that, wait a minute. In the end, there are people that have ended up on Team USA for reasons other than just their elite play at that particular moment in time.
She was a marketing whiz. Right.
And she was a marketing
because she is a marketing whiz and she did it on the court. That's what I'm saying.
We were saying, Molly.
So you were ahead of the curve.
You're not listening, Molly. You're not listening. I'm talking about your point, Molly. Your point.
And I'm explaining it to you.
At the end of the day, we were making the point, do you want to promote the league or not? And people like Andrea and others were resistant to that playing a role in somebody making the roster for Team USA. And we were saying, hell with that. You want to promote the sport. You put...
All right. Enough of that. We got to get back to the videos. All right, so back to regularly scheduling, the regular schedule. Of what this has turned into, just straight politics. This is, I don't know if we want to call this politics. This is just life. So this, Vani Hari, who blogs as the Food Babe, became a food activist because she wanted Americans to be treated the same way as citizens in other countries by American companies.
It's Dak. Just want to thank you for checking out our video and visiting the OG Network. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure that you give us a like. And if you're looking to join a community of inspired individuals striving for purposeful abundance, subscribe. And if you're feeling real generous, share the video with some friends and family. All right, I'll see y'all soon. Ew.